What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Weekly Words. I pray that these last couple of weeks have been great for you and God has been continuously moving in your life. Today, I want to continue our conversation about working towards our vision, dream, goal, and purpose in life. But today, I want to focus on that time in our life whenever we might be in a waiting season, right? We're waiting to get to where the next step is. Now, when I look back and I think about the different mindsets that I've had as I've been in various types of waiting seasons, I think of two major differences that I want to talk through today. So the first one is a space I think that we all have entered into whenever we're waiting and we feel like we're in the dressing room. So what I mean by that is we're in a space where we are working to get better. We're trying to take the classes, we're trying to hone the skill set or the talent, we're going through the application process, we're going through the curriculum, we're mentoring somebody, we're shadowing somebody. We're essentially doing all the things that we're supposed to do that is going to lead to one day us being great. We're in this space where we are training and we're honing ourselves and we can see continual progress, hopefully, day by day, week by week, month by month, etc., etc., right? We're in this space where everything seems to be working out naturally and the wait just seems like part of the journey. And typically we're in a positive space. Yes, we might get a little bit tired of continually having to work and prove ourselves, but we're like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, this is making me better, right? Again, I see that as being in the dressing room. But with that being said, sometimes we're waiting and it's the exact opposite. We've been in this space where we have continuously been growing ourselves. We've continuously chased different opportunities and keep getting faced with rejection. We're waiting for God, or we're asking to God for direction or for help or for assistance, and we feel like we're not getting an answer from him. We're in a space where we're waiting to hear back from the job, or we just had a breakup, or we've done all this work on ourselves and we're not getting anywhere. We're not seeing any kind of evidence that we are going to get to the promise that God has for us. And we start to get in this mental mind block where we feel trapped and like nothing is going as planned or as it's supposed to. And then we start to slowly doubt or forget the promise, the goal, the vision, the purpose, etc. I like to think of this type of waiting space as a prison cell. We're in this space where we feel like nothing is guaranteed and we're actually not really moving forward and we feel trapped. So whether we're in the dressing room or the prison cell, what do we do in this space of waiting? Well, let's look at chapter 8 in the book of Matthew. I feel like the disciples are in a similar space. They're traveling with Jesus, going from destination to destination, sharing the gospel, and they get to the point where they are actually going on a boat and traveling overseas to get to their next destination. During their journey, they travel right into a storm. Now, during this storm, Jesus is sound asleep, but the disciples are going crazy. They're panicking. They're trying to fix the boat. They're trying to keep water off the boat. They're trying to keep everything together. And they're like, oh my gosh, we're not going to make it. Like, we're about to get taken by sea and the story's going to be done. So they're like, Jesus, 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 wake up, wake up, wake up. We're about to go overboard. And Jesus wakes up and he's like, why aren't you panicking? Storm, stop. And then it just stops. And they are astonished, right? So I feel like they were in this same space. They were traveling with Jesus and they're getting better and they're learning about the gospel and they're getting more comfortable talking to people. They're in the dressing room, right? Like they're getting all their stuff together. And then all of a sudden they get onto this boat and now they get to a circumstance that's not going as planned. And they're sitting here like, crap, what are we going to do? I don't think we're going to make it. They immediately forget about the promise of where they're going and what God has for them and for them to continue to learn. And they now feel trapped and desperate. And Jesus has to wake up and remind them of who he is and what the promise is. So I say all that to say that I think oftentimes we feel safest in spaces where we have control. We feel safe waiting in a space where we know what the outcome is going to be. Or we know that, all right, cool, my time on stage is promised. Let me get some stuff together and then I can step right into that season of my life. But we feel in a place of desperation and panic whenever these things aren't so visibly guaranteed. And now we start to feel trapped and we're trying to do whatever we can to get by. It's very hard to think that in order for me to get to the next thing, I need to continuously check my mindset and my posture. And that's what I think the main difference is between being in the prison cell or the dressing room, right? Dressing room, things are going pretty okay and we're progressing through it and we can see it. But the prison cell, it seems like there's so much out of our hand and the circumstance is greater than our work and greater than God's promise. But the question I want to ask everybody is, what is your posture and mindset during that season, during that space? Are you now in a space of becoming doubtful, of forgetting the promise, of panicking, of becoming desperate, and now thinking that Jesus isn't holding up his end of the bargain? And I think that's where we need to challenge ourselves and reevaluate where we are and where we're going. So whenever we're thinking about, okay, is this a dressing room or a prison cell? I really think that they actually can be synonymous and be together, but the way that happens is us changing our mindset and saying, hey, even though I'm in this space of circumstance not going how I want it to go or how it should go, I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing. I'm going to continue to hone my talent. I'm going to continue to prepare for my time and prepare for the promise. I'm going to continue to learn what I need to learn. I'm going to continue to apply the skill sets that I've learned or that God has given me in order to be the best version of myself. Whether the circumstance is favorable or not favorable, I'm going to do whatever I can with where I am now. Still having that positive mindset and posture and outlook, I think can remove the feeling of being in a panic and being trapped and feeling like you're in a prison cell and actually open up your mind and your experience to the idea that you are just in a dressing room preparing for your time on stage. So my question to you all is, what kind of posture and mindset are you going to allow to drive your life as you're in this season of waiting, regardless of what the circumstances look like?